Hi everyone, I am Sarah from InkNow. With all the different and new responsibilities that teachers have because of teaching online, I wanted to share with you a quick introduction to Zoom. So, let's get started. The first thing that you must do is register with Zoom. Head over to zoom.us to begin. Zoom has some different pricing options that you can take a look at, but you should be good with the free version. Zoom has waived that 40-minute time limit for free accounts if you are registered with your educational email. So we can just go ahead and click sign up, it's free. Once you have all of your information filled out and the registration is complete, Zoom will prompt you to download the desktop application. I have already made my account and have it downloaded and open. But after your short download is complete, then you'll also be able to see the home screen. And as you can see, it's really quite simple and easy to use. There are a couple different ways to set up meetings on Zoom, but I'm going to go through our suggestion, which is scheduling a meeting. Scheduling a meeting is beneficial because it will show up here on the side as a reminder for you, and that way everything's already set up at the time of the meeting. However, you can use the new meeting to create your instant meeting whenever you need one right away. So for us, we'll just hit schedule and put in all the details for the meeting, starting with the topic, the date, and the time. For better security, we're going to leave the meeting ID to generate automatically. This way, every one of the classes will have a different meeting ID. To add an extra layer of security, we will leave the password on. This way, your students will have to enter the password to get into the meeting. You can choose if you want to have your video for yourself and your students on or off when you begin the class. Some other options that you want to take a look at are under advanced options. I will keep enable waiting room upon entry checked. This means that when students join, you will have to allow them entry before they're fully into this meeting. It's important to mute your students upon entry so that you won't hear too many things at once when all of them join. If you know that you are going to be recording this class, you can click here so that you don't forget. Otherwise, there's an option to do so after you've started the meeting. Now all the basic setup is done for our meeting, and we can click schedule, and the reminder, you will see it appears here on the side home screen. Now we have to get this information to your students so that they can join you in your class. So to do this, we can just go over to the Meetings tab on the top ribbon. And this is where you can copy the invitation to send to your students. You can paste it in an email or put it in your learning management system or just however else that you get in touch with your students. When your students join the class, they will just have to click the link, key in the password, and they're all set. Or they can go to zoom.us and go to join meeting, and there they can key in the meeting ID and the password. Once it's time for the meeting, you can just click start. Zoom will ask if you want to join with computer audio, and most likely this is going to be the case every time. So you can just click this box at the bottom and you won't have to click this every time you start a meeting. You can see that the Zoom toolbar is here at the bottom of the screen. On the far left, you have the audio and video button to quickly mute or unmute your own audio and to turn off or on your own video. The arrows on the sides enable you to change the sources, so if you have other mics, speakers, or cameras that you're using, you can change them here. You can also choose a virtual background to use to decrease distractions or make the call a little bit more fun and exciting for your students. So Zoom has been getting a lot of pressure to make their platform more secure, so that unwanted guests can't just crash into your meeting. So the security tab helps with this because along with other customizable options, now you can lock the meeting. So once all your students have joined, you can lock the meeting so that no one else can enter later on. On the Participants tab, you can see a list of all your students and if their audio and videos are muted or not. You can invite more participants and easily mute or unmute all the students at once. To do so individually, if you want a student to answer a question or if they have one of their own, just hover over their name and click unmute. If you have younger students in your classroom, in the more options here at the bottom, you can disallow participants to unmute themselves. So this way, random noises won't interrupt your class. And then, if you want your student to speak, you can just go through the list and unmute them yourself. If you want to record this class and didn't press the button before in the setup that we did, you can do so here. So this way, if not all of your students were able to make it on the call, you can still share it with them. When you're ready to be done, you can just click End Meeting down here. But before we end the call, let's just go through a couple more features that Zoom has. Screen sharing is the core of video conferencing. Before I click Screen Share, I'm just going to change the options so that only the host can share their screen. If I need my students to be sharing their screen, I can easily just turn this off when the time comes. Then, by clicking Share, you can see all the different options that Zoom allows. There are basic options, some advanced options, and even the option to open up files just directly with Zoom. In the basic options, you can see all the open applications you have on your desktop. You can click which individual window you would like to share, or you can just even share the whole desktop screen. This is probably the most common because whenever you switch windows, if you're on a PowerPoint and switch quickly over to a web page, your students are able to see that all happening. So whenever you're screen sharing, you can also annotate on the screen by this annotate button on the top toolbar. So a separate toolbar is going to pop up with some different tools for you to use on your open window. You can have your students annotate on screen with you to collaborate, or you can turn this off. And so up here in the top toolbar, if it disappears, just bring it back by hovering your mouse at the top of the screen. Here in the More section is where you can disallow your students' ability to annotate. And then if you want, you can turn it back on along with the ability to show who is writing. If you want to open another window to share, such as a whiteboard for extra space to explain, you can do so easily here with New Share. You can pause your screen share at any time, but when you are done sharing, you can just click Stop Sharing and the meeting will resume back to your video. Engaging your students is more important than ever in these new virtual classrooms. Not only for them, but also for you. Keeping your students engaged keeps them interested in learning during class, while receiving their feedback helps you to know better what and how to teach. So Zoom has some good built-in features so that you can receive feedback and communicate with your students. The first is with chat. With chat, students can communicate with each other and also with you in a group. You can set how your participants can communicate with the 3 buttons here. I will set it so students can chat with everyone publicly. It's good to allow a group discussion, and that way I can see everything that is being discussed. Polling is another engagement tool that allows you to set multiple choice questions, true-false questions, or to have your students vote so that you can get some feedback, just directly from your students during class. This is a pro feature of Zoom, so it does require a paid account. If you want to find out a little bit more about this feature and Zoom's paid account, you can just check out the Zoom website. Again, I am Sarah from Inkno, and thanks for watching.